Hello, I'd like to give a short-term review of this Hisense dishwasher. This is a 47 decibel model, and I've had it for about a month, which means I should probably peel this off now. But anyway, in the month that I've had it, there are some things I've come to really love about the dishwasher. Some things I wish were done a little differently, but I decided to make this video so that I could share with any potential buyers out there, and with the hope that this would be able to give you another point of reference as to whether you should go for this dishwasher or stay away from it. So I'll try my best to start with the positives and then talk about the opportunities for improvement a little later. Okay, so first thing is that they market it as a 47 decibel model, and most people can't really quantify what that is. Let me give you an example of what that means for you. So, fact, it is very, very quiet. It's the kind of dishwasher that we can load up and run and immediately go watch a movie. It's that quiet. It just has this weird knocking sound sometimes, and we've not really been able to figure out what it is. It still runs, it still washes, and I know that it's not like we have anything dangling that's stopping the spray bar. It just knocks sometimes. But as I said, that's not a stopper at all. Second thing that I can say is very positive about it is that back here, I like how simple it is to get to the strainer. Just pull it up, and that's it. And doesn't have anything, which I guess either we were really good about pre-washing or pre-rinsing the dishes, or anything that was there went through. I was a little worried about this stainless steel, or yeah, it is stainless steel, and nothing else around it. It had no padding when installed it, no insulation on the outside, but again, no concerns. The counter doesn't get hot or anything. It seems like it does a pretty good job of retaining the heat, and so I hope it keeps up like that and we don't get any rust issues or anything. Um, I hate to have to jump to this one right here. This could be either pro or con, depending on how you look at it. But can you see how the size of the rack and the top rack too? It is pretty small. It is pretty tiny, and if you have a large household, it could be a little stressful to work with it. But if you've got a moderately sized household, it could be a good thing, because we don't have the issues where you'd use up all your plates, load up all your plates, and then don't have any dishes to use for the night because we end up running the dishwasher so often. I hope it is efficient with water use. I haven't seen the bill yet, so I can't really tell you what it is like. So out of a week, I think we run the dishwasher like 6 times every 7 days or something like that. Or maybe out of 14 days, we run it like 11 times. But either way, we're running it it feels like every day, at least to me, it does. So again, as I said, that's either good or bad, just depends on your point of view and whether you're glass half full or half empty kind of person. The top rack is pretty nice. I really like it. I like the way everything is angled. And one thing I usually did is that whenever dishes, the cycle runs through, I would usually come in and tip all my glasses to drain the water. This one does a pretty good job of not holding water because of the angles going on over here. So bowls like these never really seem to hold water. If I put a mug like this one, yeah, it might hold water, and then this one here too, again, depends on the shape. But generally everything else seems to drip water pretty well. It does help that it's got that cycle. It's got this feature that opens the door. You can turn it off, by the way. Door open right here whenever you run it. Let's see. See, it's lit up. Yeah, you can turn it off if you wanted to, but I like to run it with a door open feature, which means that whenever it gets done with almost every cycle except the intense, I think the intense doesn't do it, the door will pop itself open. It's interesting, but maybe you can do like a time-lapse video so it pops this far open, so that vents it out, and I really like that feature. And usually when it does that, you still have a few minutes on the countdown. This surface being black, I don't know if that was the best idea because, as you can see, all the water stains are on it. Okay, so this one is maybe a little bit of a negative. It's not only small over here, but the arrangement with the angle of these prongs down here on the rack, on the lower rack. So top rack, no concerns. The lower rack though, because of this angle right here, makes it pretty awkward to load it up. Let me show you what that is. So see this? These are little side plates, and if I were to load these up, let me put one right against the end. See what happens. See, it stands almost straight, right? Put it on the next one. It's like right against it. And so what we've noticed is that whenever we'd run this, the points of contact, like right here and here, they would come out with water stains. So how about the third one? Sometimes it works, but there's still some contact, which is it's something you have to pay attention to, because by the time you come to put the next one on, it's leaning against it because this one is not far enough, right? Kind of, it's like you need it to be that far. And then we don't generally do this. You can't like put it on the one right next to it because again, that contact, and I'm usually worried about water making it through. I'll explain this in a bit. I'll explain it a little better. So we usually end up having to double space things. Okay, so again, at this rate, you end up taking up quite a lot of space. On these other bowls, because they tell you that dirty side should be facing down, which makes sense to me, but sometimes it might seem a little counterintuitive to some people, so you find people loading them like this, and that's a concern because you have a spray bar down there, you have a spray bar over here, and this one is for the top rack. Thing is, unlike other dishwashers that I've seen, the top spray bar does not have any nozzles pointing down. So this plate, if you run it, the spray bar from the bottom would clean the back side, but do nothing for the top side, which is an issue that I sometimes see in that they do tell you that these bowls should be stacked like this with the dirty side down, right? Just turn it around basically. And sometimes we'd find that the outside has water streaks, but the inside is nice and clean sometimes. And again, I'll explain what happened in just a little bit. I want to make sure I finish this topic. So it's not like this is such a bad thing. Maybe the dishes you have lend themselves to being ran like to loading the dishwasher like this, and that's perfect for you. But again, due to the size, as you can see, this plate, it's already in everyone's way, you know, just by being there. So now I have to do this little dance. Yeah, I think I'm getting it to work, maybe. Yeah, I am. So, loading it is rather interesting, is what I've found. Is this it? Yep. Wow. Okay, finally, there it is. So it's a little odd to work with, and then the size of the plates kind of fight it, and then you've got this notch over here, or this dimple, and that also limits what size plates you put over there. We do have these plates, and this is what I want to talk about. I think it wouldn't be such a big problem if all of them were facing one direction, but then you have these ones facing outside, then right in the middle they're facing the other way, both on both racks. So it kind of becomes a little odd to work with that, and it's just something to pay attention to. And just like those other plates, we have to space them one over, because I'm not really sure how well it would clean if I did that, you know. It doesn't seem like there's enough space right there, but maybe in the future I'll be able to try it. I'll explain again why we haven't tried it yet. So this is what we have, and again, you can't load it all the way to the end. I guess it just depends on what kind of plates you have, but yeah, I found that a little annoying, I guess. Positive, I like that the silverware rack that they give you is not like one piece. It comes as one piece, but it can be separated. So this is one half. Here's the other one. This one here, I took the lid off, the slotted lid off. I think I put it in there. This one here, I left the lid on, and this is the one I use for silverware, and it works very well. I've not had any silverware come out dirty. One thing, we're trying not to put knives in here, at least not the good knives, but I did notice that with our older dishwasher, the knives would come up with streaks. Yeah, the knives with handles, that is. So it's something that we've gotten away from, and I like that. As I said, with regards to configuration, you can move this wherever you want. It could be there. You can move it to this side. And depending on what you have. Okay, there you go. Just gotta aim it right here and here. And then it's the hooks. And if you wanted to, you could also put it at the front or the back, you know. So this seems to have a lot of flexibility as to where you can move it. If you had a lot of dishes, you could use the other one. I use it for larger objects, things like pairs of scissors, and we do have larger spoons whose butts or whose handles kind of go in there. So that's one other time to use it. And then, lastly, I'm going to explain what the challenge with the double spacing has been. Despite them saying, with this sticker right here, that your dishwasher manufacturer recommends using Finish, right? I'll tell you, that's what we did in the beginning. And I had concerns because, one, the dishes would usually come up with an oily film on them, and I used to wonder where the film came from. So I did what I thought was the right thing. I took one of those pods, the dishwasher cleaner pods, run it in there with no dishes or anything in there, and the oily film kind of went away. So I guess a warning is that before you use it, you should use a dishwasher cleaner. I've never been in a house with a brand new dishwasher, so I guess it's my fault for not knowing that. And the manual, I don't think the manual really talked about that. Second thing is that despite getting rid of that oily film thing, or maybe due to me getting rid of the oily film problem, we started seeing that our dishes, especially these ones right here, would come out with a lot of white powder on the back side. Again, remember this spray bar does not spray to the bottom, right? Just sprays up. So you get streaks and like white powder on the backs of these rounded plates. So what I decided was that this is what I've been using, right? It's per recommendation. And this is what it looks like. It's got what? Well, 3 different things, I guess, which is kind of standard. All I know is that the blue stuff is not, it's not rinse aid. Rinse aid has got a little different consistency. This one is a gel. So I decided to go back to the handy dandy and trustworthy Cascade pods. And looks a little different, right? I was a little concerned because this one seems to have more powder than this packet right here. But we've used it like 3-4 times and no concerns, no white powder at all. So if there's anything I could tell you is that don't listen to what they tell you about using Finish. Go for the Cascade pods. It just seemed to work better. The other thing I noticed is that we've been going through the rinse aid quite fast. It is very, very thirsty for rinse aid. And I just added some. And I see some bluing over here. I don't know if that's from any of the dishes, you know, just sitting over here. I'm not really sure, but everything works well with regards to this opening. It doesn't really fight you at all. As soon as you start running it, on it goes. So that's not a problem. I think I've run into that issue with other dishwashers where sometimes with age the doors stop opening. So you'd run your cycle 2-3 hours, come back and your pod's still in there with maybe a half open door or something. Actually, we've seen it with this one here, you know, with a full load. Sometimes you'd put 2 of them, and sometimes we'd open this and you'd have like not half a packet, but you'd see some blue over here. So sometimes it did not really empty itself very well. With this one, due to size, I've not really had to put 2 in there, but maybe I will at this point. I don't know. Haven't really attempted to use liquid dishwasher detergent. I think that should be it, really. Oh, before I go away, I think in the first video I made, oh, well, it is quite sensitive, isn't it? In the first video I made of this one here, I think it was how to get rid of the time delay which is this right here. And I didn't really trash it. I just said I didn't really know what kind of person would need or would consider using a time delay. I'd like to take that back and say now I know. So if you have a household that, small water tank, whenever you have two, three people take showers back to back, obviously you run out of hot water. And since the dishwasher uses hot water and we prefer to use hot water, that is one function of, that is one place you could use a time delay or the delay start. Because if you wanted to, or if you desired to wake up and get your dishes all ready, all done, but you know that right now the water's still cold, you could set this timer for like 2 hours or three or whenever. Oh, there you go. Set it for whatever time, or maybe you wanted to start running at 5 in the morning. Just do the math, and then you can set the time delay and then go ahead and start it. So that is what I'd like to share with regards to it. I don't hate anything about it. As I said, it's just that some things I feel like could be done a little better. For one, I haven't really put a lot of thought into this, but now that we're talking, I'll try to see if they have any other design for this rack down here, so that if I can buy something that has a more conventional rack design, I would really prefer to use that. I think more spacing would be great as well. And then, number two, if at all possible, I'd like to get a spray bar that sprays both to the top and the bottom. I think that'll just be a bonus. But I think those are some of the things that will turn this from being a good dishwasher to being a great dishwasher. So I think that's about it. That's all I can think of at this point with 1 month of use. Maybe after 2-3 months I might have something else to say. If there is, I will share that video as well. But for now, I hope the few things that I've talked about will be able to enable you to be a well-informed shopper. And please, leave something in the comments if you think this was helpful and will help you, I guess, buy it. Let me know. If it will help you not buy it, let me know. If you found some sort of a replacement rack, share with us, okay? All the best, and I wish you success in your dishwashing journey.